Oil spill is the release of petroleum into the environment due to human activities. The oil spill would cause serious pollutions to the ecosystem. Our Rube Goldberg machine presents how oil spill happens, how it impacts on ecosystems, and how it is solved through physical and biological methods.
The whole project indicates how the oil spill could affect the natural creatures and the possible solution to this environmental issue.
We took time out to study oil spills and attempted to represent the process realistically. Let's see how that turned out.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Hi guys, I'm Eric and I'm responsible for making the very first part of our Group 4 project. I use physical knowledge in my part. The first stage or first part means that the accident happened during the petroleum tanker is on the ocean. The ball launcher will launch a ball to hit the paperboard container hang on two clampers. The container contains the marbles and when the ball hit the container, the marble will start falling on the hill. Different parts indicate different things realistically. The force provided by the ball represents an accident that may crack the oil tanker, which could make the oil spill on the ocean. And the paperboard container represent the oil tanker. The small marbles in the paperboard container represent the oil.
Oil spills often occur at a rapid rate, with the oil seeping into oceans, rivers, or bays. When the spillage slows down, the oil gradually spreads out, depending on the viscosity or the specific gravity of it. The marbles rolling down the ramp are symbolic of the oil spilling, and the speed at which it affects wildlife. The force of gravity causes the marbles to accelerate, in addition to the loss of gravitational potential energy and the increase in kinetic energy which is gained with vertical distance. The marbles were directed along a particular path to symbolize the direct impact the oil spills have on aquatic ecosystems. The marbles then tumble into the dominoes, causing a butterfly effect.
The ball is representing the oil that leaks. It was released into the water, and by the time it hits the domino, it means that the ecosystem was destroyed and interrupted, which basically tells the effect of oil leakage. The dominoes represents the food chain underwater. There are 3 dominoes with bird, fish, and algae stickers on it. It is arranged from producer to primary consumer, secondary consumer, and so on. It helps to explain the process of how oil enters the food chain from beginning to the end. After the food chain was interrupted, the domino branched out to 2 different paths. One path leads to trigger the cleanup stage, and another path leads to the final effect on how a bird would be affected by oil leakage. So the paper bird that fell from the ceiling represents what's gonna happen in reality. The bird dives into water to catch fish, and then the oil that is on the surface of the water will trap the birds by leaving the oil on its feather, and thus it couldn't fly and it would drown to death.
Ball switch is used as the transition from dominoes to servo. The ball switch falling down with the dominoes causes change of digital signal, leading to rotation of the servo. The rotation allows small marbles passing through the gap while larger balls is kept in origin position. The small marbles presents the water and the larger ball presents the oil. This mechanism symbolizes the oil spill containment booms, which are used to contain an oil spill in a certain area. Containment booms allow water flowing under it, while blocks oil spill to flow through. Containment booms hinder the spread of oil spill, whereby reduces the possibility of polluting shorelines and other resources, and to help make recovery easier. Here is a circuit diagram and code for this part.
The last part of the machine represents how bioremediation is used to clean up oil spills. The process is connected after skimming the oil because biological cleanup ways are slow and are usually to remove the last residues after all other ways are used. The machine is connected to the previous part by a photoresistor. When the small marbles fall onto the photoresistor after passing through the sieve, they block the light and the resistance of the photoresistor increases with the decreasing incident light intensity. This change was recorded, which then triggers the motor attached to the weigh boat to rotate. The weigh boat contains baking soda, which is basic, and the solution in the beaker is vinegar, which is acidic. When the base is dropped into the acid, a neutralization reaction occurs, producing a neutral solution of water and salt and carbon dioxide. The gas forming can be seen as the solution quickly foams. In real life, at a site of an oil spill, fertilizers are added to the surrounding waters to promote growth of microorganisms, such as bacteria and algae. Certain classes of such microorganisms are capable of metabolizing petroleum products and breaking them into non-toxic molecules, mostly fatty acids and carbon dioxide. The machine symbolizes the process of how microorganisms metabolizes oil through producing the same gas and rather harmless molecules.
Okay, 3, 2, 1。就是最上面那一块，也不对啊，最上面那块绳子也不够长，绳子太长了，你搞的。
哎呦，
Good, how are you? I like your all of this. Whoa, 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 whoa. 3, 2, 1.